Hi guys. I hope you can hear me. So sorry I'm late. Hopefully I'm not muted. So sorry I'm not muted because I can hear myself echoing. There we go. Okay, phone off. It's good to see you guys. Nancy was here first. Melanie, I'm glad to see you. Who else is here? I saw other people. Colin was here. J Drank was here. Daylight Disinfectant. How are you guys? I hope you're having a good week. It's only Monday. It feels like about a Wednesday. No, it's Tuesday. Okay. PB and Jelly. Hello. Okay, I think I said hi to everybody. Yes, I'm back. Hi, Tin Man. How's my volume? Is it too loud? I feel like it's probably too loud. Hope not. But I think I found some pretty good stuff for you guys tonight. What is the best case that you've watched this week? Tell me in the chat. A little low. Ooh. Is that better? I can change the settings. Hang on. Okay, audio. Mic volume 77. 81? Is that better? I don't want it to be so loud. Because I know that my mouse clicks are annoying because I need a new mouse that's quiet. Ian E, hello. All right, so I was only a little bit late, but then I realized this case that I was watching earlier while I was getting ready was on my old computer and not the new one. So I had to change it. And someday when I learn how to like do more than one thing at once, and I can do it quickly, I'll be better at it. Thank you, Melanie. But no, I'm not actually, because there's a thing, see, on settings, it says, where is it? When you get like a new computer and it's not from 2011, you have an option on your camera to touch up your appearance. And like I clicked it this time. Last time I didn't because it felt weird. But like this is not touched up. This is like regular old me. So I can turn that off. It doesn't need to be. I mean, but it's kind of better, like, right? Like that's way better. I look like I've been in the sun. Oh, I forgot to, what I mean to say at the beginning is anybody who's like accidentally watching this when it's not live later, just fast forward until you see court. Just fast forward until you see court. You don't need to watch this, me trying to get my stuff together. All right, so I just got the file. The first one is a traffic case, and you guys know that I'm a sucker for traffic cases. Go. This is why I have to do things. Okay, I'm gonna play something different while I figure it out. How did I mess this up? Y'all? I give up. Let's try. Oh my god. I can't believe I went live before I was sure that I had it. Okay. Let's play this one. Well, I'll play this one. It is a case that I kind of halfway saw out of Kansas. I don't know if you guys saw it. It was on kind of a later. But the judge was not feeling this guy.
Odell Violez
Sorry.
Alvarez.
It's really loud for me. Have you guys seen this?
It's case number 2022 CR 364. Joseph Favre appearing as defense counsel by Zoom separately from his client, who's appearing at the Sonnyport location at the Butler County Judicial Center. Amber Norris
Okay.
appears for the state of Kansas. This matter comes before the court at this time for
How's the
sentencing.
volume in comparison to my volume?
Court's docket notes indicate that the defendant appeared before this court back in May 4th in particular. At that time, pled guilty to count 1, possession of methamphetamine, a level 5 drug felony. All other charges in the case were dismissed pursuant to plea agreement, as well as a separate Butler County case. A pre-sentence report was ordered.
Thank you.
Sentencing originally set for July 3rd, subsequently continued twice to today's date. Court does have a completed pre-sentence investigation report compiled by Sarah Wheeler, pre-sentence investigator, who is present on this meeting. I trust each attorney has received a copy of this report, and I'll ask the state's attorney first. Is there any objection to the criminal history which is stated in this report?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection by the defense, Mr. Favre?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Court finds that the criminal history score applicable to today's sentencing is criminal history score C, and the court will proceed further accordingly. Ms. Norris, are you aware of any legal reason why sentence should not be pronounced in this case at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Favre, are you aware of any such legal reason?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Violas Alvarez, are you aware of any legal reason or any other good reason why the court should not proceed further with sentencing today?
No.
Court will proceed further then. I'm not aware that there's been any motion for a departure sentence. However, court now has been provided with defendant's request for border box findings, which was a document submitted to the court. I do not know if it was filed with the clerk's office or if the prosecutor has received it. Ms. Norris, are you familiar with this document?
Your Honor, I did have my staff get me a copy once I was reviewing the PSI. I think I received a copy of it 1:30 or so today, so I have had a chance to review the file stamped copy.
Very well. Since it's not a request for a departure, no separate proceeding needs to be held. We'll address the request for border box findings along with sentencing recommendations in just a bit. Are there any victims or members of a victim's family present who desire to address the court in relation to this sentencing? Court finds no such persons present. So at this time, I will ask for formal recommendations from counsel regarding an appropriate sentence for this individual, starting with Amber Norris on behalf of the state of Kansas.
Mortimer.
Thank you,
Duke.
Your Honor. Regarding the possession of methamphetamine, state will be recommending 30 months in the Department of Corrections. Defendant would be able to earn up to 20% good time credit, would be subject to 12 months post-release. The defendant, this is a methamphetamine charge, but does not qualify based on his SASE score for SB 123 mandatory treatment. Defendant has earned 7 days of jail time credit. I ask the court assess the cost of the action to the defendant. Court will need to address court appointed attorney's fees, it seems. Otherwise, Your Honor, I don't know that I have any further recommendations for the court at this time.
And your position on whether he is in prison or in the community precisely is what, Ms. Norris?
Your Honor, according to the PSI, he would be presumptive prison as he is border box and it is not mandatory SB 123 treatment.
So you're asking the court to impose a prison sentence today?
Your Honor, that's what the PSI says. It has to be done unless the court can make requisite border box findings. And we did not discuss the possibility of border box. We did probably believe based on his criminal history that he would be SB 123 likely based on the charge itself, the possession of meth. But it appears that he does not qualify. So the PSI says that he's border box, which we know means he's presumptive prison. So I believe without making special findings, that's what the court has to do.
All right, and I'm aware of what the law says, Ms. Norris, but what I was really asking is does your office really take a position one way or the other as to whether he should go to prison or that he should stay in the community?
Your Honor, I don't really think that I can take a position other than this is what the PSI says. I don't really have a whole lot of information regarding like the program or anything like that they're talking about regarding the border box. Well, the document that was filed for the court to actually make border box findings. So I don't know that I can actually take a strong position one way or the other. I think I don't have enough information to say, yes, absolutely, the court should make border box findings.
Is the stream frozen? Let me investigate. Tin Man, it's possible. Oh no.
We believe based on his criminal history that
What's wrong
he would.
here? What is wrong here?
A field.
To the court?
Yes, I do.
This is really weird. Okay, I'm gonna close it. No. Like, I don't think he means I'm frozen. I think he means the video's frozen, which it kind of looks like it is. So I'm gonna close it and then try to do it again. Hey, Jody. Victoria B. Some other people came in while I was, okay, God, sorry. I swear, one of these days I'm going to figure out how to use the new technology so it's not like worse than the old technology, I promise. Just not quite yet. Okay, this. Oh, because I have it open in 2 places. That's bad. Welcome, Tin Man, new member. I mean, old member, not like new member. Okay, close that one. This media player, drag it into a different window. Okay, different window. Over here. Yes, only 12 minutes in and I remembered. Like and subscribe if you feel like it, because I think it helps. Yes, y'all. Y'all are awful. Here we go. Let's see. I don't know why it was frozen, but I think you were right. It's still frozen. Why is that happening? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. You know what? We'll just roll with it. We will start with the case that I originally wanted to start with, because I think it's a great one. Oh, present my screen. Hang on. Yeah, I think I do. You're right. Here we go.
Mr. Streischak, please. My civil infraction matter. Are you there, Mr. Streischak?
Okay. Can you guys hear it?
Victor, are you still with us?
Is this the right one? I think it is.
He's, for some reason, Your Honor, I think he's,
Okay. Yeah, this is.
I don't know
love
why he
traffic.
lost his video, but he did. He's been with us the whole time.
Well,
He's
here's
still
what we're
with
going to
us.
do. In 23 CI 06500, Mr. Streischak has appeared. He appears to be having some technical difficulties, but we won't hold that against him. So we're going to trail that matter and proceed with other cases. If he reestablishes connection, great. If he's unable to, we will simply recalendar it for a different Zoom date and try to get him back on track.
Hey, Nigel.
So let's go ahead and set that aside for now. And
Hey,
Ms.
Squishy.
Massey, feel free to let me know who I'm talking to next.
Okay. The next case, Your Honor, is Madison McCaskey. It is case 23 TR 09086.
All right. Ms. McCaskey, can you hear me okay? Ms. McCaskey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, looks like we might be having a little lag, so I am just going to
You can do
Is the
it.
volume
go
bad
a
for you
little
guys or good?
slow.
Yeah, I'm just showing you.
Okay, man.
You click that.
Mr. Streischak, I'm gonna mute you. Please turn your video back on and just kind of stay quiet. The judge is
This
speaking,
whole
okay?
call is a nightmare. Like,
All right, Ms. McCaskey, we're here on your arraignment in 23 TR 09086. A few offenses stemming back from August of this year, a hit and run allegation and a lack of proof of insurance. Are you aware of the charges against you?
Yes, sir.
And at the beginning of these proceedings, a video should have played explaining your rights under the Constitution, your options here today, and the remedies that might be at your disposal. Did you see that explanation?
Yes, I did.
Do you feel you understood it, or is there anything you'd like me to discuss further with you on in terms of your rights and what we're doing here today?
No, I think I got it.
Okay. How do you want to plead today?
Guilty.
Okay, now you understand that if you plead guilty, you're going to be surrendering your ability to contest the charges and maybe have an opportunity to speak to the city attorney and try to negotiate them.
can I please tell you what's up with Chris, that guy? Can I please tell you that he goes last in this whole call? It's awesome. Because that's kind of why I watched the call, because I wanted to see what was going on with him. Okay, but hold on.
And if I accept your plea, I'm going to just proceed to impose a fine on you today. You understand that, correct?
Yes, sir.
And don't worry, I mean, I definitely will watch this whole entire video later, but I'm not going to make you guys watch it all. Okay, here we go.
Okay. And with
I do
that,
have a question about the fine. though.
yeah. What's your question?
Would I be able to make it in payments, or do I have to pay it in full?
So there's two things that are going to happen here. Number one, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about whether you can get subsequent insurance. We're going to talk about that for a few moments because that can reduce your fine significantly. After we've
Okay.
had that discussion,
I
we'll
really wanna
talk about
turn
your
that
financial condition a little bit, and I
closed
can
caption
order
off.
payments, and I usually do if people need a little extra
How
time.
do I do
I do need you to know that there's an administrative fee that's associated with a payment plan, so it's going to just kind of bump up your fine a little bit if you do the payment plan option, but I don't usually have a problem with that. Times are tough. If people need a little extra time, you got bigger fish to fry. So,
Thank you.
What if I make it bigger? I can't fix it.
Ms. Massey, I apologize. On this matter, I don't have on the notes the standard assessment for the hit and
Hi.
run charge. Do you happen to have that by any chance?
Your Honor, I'd be happy to tell you what that could be.
Thank you.
Cody, you're good. How distracting is the...
It's not giving it to me, Your Honor. Give me just a second.
Did I fix it? Oh, the closed captions are really bothering me.
It's not, I'm not finding it either.
Well, that's okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Miss McCaskey, sounds like maybe you've got some financial situations going on. Not to embarrass you and put you on the spot, but can you tell me sort of what your situation is?
Financial situations. I work at a temp agency, so I get paid daily.
mean-
I love myself. I don't know.
Okay. How much do you usually make per week at the temp agency?
I get paid daily, so I make about $100 a day.
Okay.
What's really sad right now is, like, that's not enough. People are out there working so hard. It's not enough. Makes me sad.
Your Honor?
You're living by yourself? Do you rent an apartment?
I live at the Seagull Suite.
Okay.
I
So
pay
you're paying-
$330 a
you're paying
week.
weekly there?
Oh, honey.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about this insurance issue. Do you have auto insurance now?
No,
Do you think you have the ability to get insurance if I give you 60 days to get it?
yes.
Okay, here's
2 months.
what I'm
Yeah,
inclined to
that's
do. I am going to accept your guilty pleas. I appreciate you taking responsibility. I'm going to give you 60 days to get proof of insurance. Because you've got some financial situations going on, I'm going to continue this matter for sentencing for 60 days. Now you're going to have to come down to court on the sentencing day. Unfortunately, we can't do that one by Zoom. So I'm going to get you a date here, and you're just going to have to block it out on your calendar to come on
Okay.
down that afternoon. And at that sentencing hearing, you'll, number one, have a chance to talk to an attorney from the city of Reno to see if you can negotiate something on the hit and run. There's probably going to
Hey,
be a
Colin.
victim impact statement that's going to be necessary for the hit and run. If there was some property damage, that might need to be assessed as part of the fine here. But the major driver here is that if you can't get insurance within 60 days, the fine for that's going to be about $793.
That's
But if you
insane.
can get insurance, the fine on that's $195. And the insurance charge carries kind of a statutory penalty. There's really not a lot of wiggle room we can do on that. So either you can or you can't get insurance, and that's going to directly impact the fine you're going to face. But since we've got to wait to see if you can get the insurance, I'm going to just continue everything out, and hopefully that'll also give you some time to get some more money together between now and then, so we can figure out how to actually get you through paying the fine. Do you understand all that, ma'am?
Yes, I do. I
Okay.
appreciate you.
You're welcome. You know, we got to get through it. We got to get you square. You did a thing you weren't supposed to do, so we got to hold you to account. But try to make it
It is.
manageable if we can.
He's
So I'm going
great.
to have you into a
This
breakout
next
room.
one
The clerk is going to pull
Is
you
not
into a breakout
perfectly
room
reasonable.
to reschedule you to come down for sentencing, and then we'll get you squared away
Okay.
with the fines.
And
Okay.
I know people are going to complain that I'm
Okay,
talking over
thank
it,
you.
but when I'm
And Ms.
talking over it,
Gonzalez is going to give us a date.
nothing's happening.
Yes, it's
60 days,
November
yes.
29th at 1
just-
PM.
It's
Okay.
just
November 29th at 1.
In compliance room 1.
Establishing audio. Can you unmute yourself?
Here we go. Hold on. This is
All
the
All
good,
right.
a good one.
I see
Where
you
is
Hello?
it?
unmuted.
Hello?
Hello, I can hear you. Can you
Here
turn
we
your
go.
video on, or do you not have video where you are?
This is Catherine Miller. I'm the librarian at the facility where Mr. Streischak is using his computer. His video was working when we started the call, and I have not been able to figure out how to get his
This
video
guy
back on.
is amazing.
But he is here.
Well, that is okay.
Okay.
Let's see if we can't get through this in one shot, and if we can, then I'm not going to stress too much about the video.
So this guy's already struggling. He's at the library to be here for a Zoom case to fight his traffic ticket, and boy, does he fight. His camera doesn't work, but he's trying. It worked before, but he's trying. He's got the librarian covering for him. And yeah, you're right. Doesn't everyone? Okay, here we go.
I
Okay.
appreciate you explaining the situation
Thank you.
to me. All right,
Yeah.
so we're here in 23 CI 06500. It's a civil infraction case.
Yeah.
You have posted your bail for the ticket for failing to yield at right-of-way at an uncontrolled intersection. I know you listened to the video explaining your rights. I want you to understand that your matter is a civil case, not a misdemeanor case. So the rules are a little bit different here. Are
Yes.
you attempting to contest the ticket, or are you here basically asking for mitigation and to persuade me
Yes.
that maybe the penalty shouldn't be as high?
Well, no, I wanted to explain to you what happened, sir.
Sure, but
Well-
before we do that, and I am going to listen to you, I want to know where we're
Thank you,
going with
Peach.
this. Are you
well,
arguing for
I
mitigation?
think,
Okay, Mr. Streischak, I just muted you because when the judge is asking you a question, you have to let him finish. What happens in Zoom is that you will talk over each other and we won't be able to understand what you're saying. So please allow the judge to finish talking, okay? Now go ahead and unmute yourself.
I hope the librarian's still there to help.
Yes. Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, sir. Yes, so I just wanted to explain things to you. I think it's pretty explanatory since the police officers that wrote me up on the ticket were right behind this, well, can I go on and explain what happened, sir?
Well, sir, yes, but before you do, I need you to answer my question. Are you
Sure.
trying to contest the ticket, in which case you say you didn't do the thing,
Oh,
or are you just here arguing for a reduced fine?
Well, I think it's kind of for you to decide, sir. I just wanted to tell you what happened, and I'm willing to swear to it under penalty of perjury, and that's, and and you can take it from there, sir. I trust in your in your understanding to see what happened. The police officers that wrote me up were basically right behind a van with completely blacked out windows, and I honked my horn 6 times, and we were the 2 first cars before the traffic signal turned green. And I honked my horn 6 times. Obviously, I didn't see any reaction from them because the side windows were blacked out on both sides, and he didn't move anywhere. So I signaled a left turn. I was in the center lane. I signaled a left turn in front of the van, and then I waited for a gentleman to cross the street, and I proceeded to turn left into the intersection. And as far as that, I didn't endanger anybody, and I still don't know what happened to that black van with the blacked out windows, because they were completely unresponsive, and I thought that they were probably letting out some passengers on their side of the it's a van with the doors on the left-hand side. I thought they were letting out or taking in some passengers because they did not react to the light turning green. And so, and it didn't even move an inch. And I basically signaled and I turned in front of the van, and then I proceeded to make a left turn because, I don't go to Reno much, but I figured out that I need to get on that street in order to make a left and then a right in order to get to my house and go home. And so as far as that goes, I think I still don't even understand the fine of $415 because I've been driving since I was 16. I'm a very careful driver outside of a few speeding violations. I don't think, even if I'm guilty, the fine doesn't merit $415. But I still maintain that I didn't endanger anybody with my driving, and it's not as serious as it sounds on a traffic ticket, sir. Do you have? Go. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was wondering if you had the police officers telling you their side of the story, because I'm willing to go to court or trial, whatever it is, because the truth is the truth, and I'm not going to argue any other way except for that. So.
Sure, sir. I have the citation. We have the citation in the court system.
Right.
Here's why I asked my question at the beginning, which is what are you trying to do?
I love the comment.
I've heard your statement.
Okay.
I understand that with a car in front of you that was non-responsive, and you're stuck with the light changing, that maybe you think the fine's a little high, and the way that this works.
Yeah.
Sir, hold on. Let me talk.
Sure.
I can set this matter out so that you can talk to the city attorney and they can produce the officer who ticketed you. Or what I'm inclined to do in this case is simply reduce your fine. I hear you acknowledge that you went around the car, and I appreciate you acknowledging that. I hear from you that you think the fine is too high. And so I would be inclined to reduce the fine from $415 down to $195. And if that's a satisfactory outcome for you, that's what I'd be inclined to do today.
Okay, so this guy, he's really good, and I don't know if it sounds like he's been in a lot of like marriage counseling or like relationship counseling, because I feel like that's always, I hear what you're saying, I appreciate what you're saying, and this is what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I love it. Okay, just gets better. Here we go.
Sir, I wanted to tell you kind of my background, okay? My car broke down about 2 months ago. It's parked out on the street. I'm waiting for over a month with DMV. I told them to expedite the title so I can sell my car that's like 23 years old from 2003. I'm still waiting for the title after 5 weeks. I'm worried about getting it towed. I don't have a car. I'm Ukrainian. I've had 12 relatives disappear on me in Ukraine. And I had a mother that signed an irrevocable trust where I
missed
was
that
getting
part.
money on a monthly basis, and I haven't received any money for over 5 years. So I'm in extremely horrible condition economically where I can hardly scrape up enough money for rent. Right now, after paying all my rent and everything, I have literally $260 in my bank account. And I'm willing to give you evidence of that, sir. And so $200 doesn't mean much to you, but it's a matter of me being able to purchase enough food items to survive. And I'm not making this up. I came over here. I live in State Line, Nevada, and I came here by bicycle. Okay, I've been on my bicycle for like almost 2 months. So you don't understand the kind of hardship I have. Like one thing after another, sir. It's the Ukrainian war. My mother's she basically is a case me and my brother are filing over 7 years that they've been robbing our company for over 7 years. And so, but I still don't understand what I did wrong in this traffic infraction. I don't think I did anything wrong. You had an unresponsive car that doesn't even move after I honked for 6 times. And I slowly made a turn in front of them. And to top everything off, that black van right behind it were the exact same officers that wrote me up for that. I was well aware that they're behind that van. So I'm telling you, sir, psychologically somebody that's driving is not going to make a stupid move in front of police officers watching them. So I was aware they were right parked behind that black van. And so they know exactly what happened. And I did not endanger anybody when I made my turn. I was very slow about my driving. I signaled and I honked 6 times. The truck was unresponsive, didn't even move a half an inch towards the intersection. And so for you to tell me that somehow you're going to reduce my fine, it's completely unfair to me because I did not do anything wrong in what I did. And if you think I did something wrong, I would please like to get an explanation of what I did wrong, what someone else wouldn't do in my place, trying to make a left turn with a van with blacked out windows that doesn't respond to me after I honk my horn 6 times. What was I supposed to do in this situation? Was I supposed to just stand there and block the middle lane because I'm not allowed to turn in front of a car that's just standing there and ignoring my honking? What was I supposed to do? What was my other alternative that I could have done instead of what I did, sir?
Y'all. I love this guy. I mean, he said his little excuse. Yeah, he's got great conviction. He does his little explanation. The judge is like, yeah, I'll reduce your fine from like 415 to 100. Like, no big deal. Dude is not. He's not having it, and I think it's great because like, judge was not ready for this. Like, what? How can you argue with that? I can't.
Give me a few moments. I'm going to review the citation in a little bit more detail.
Of course.
Quick answer to your questions. You could turn the other way, probably gone straight through the intersection as opposed to turning left.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry.
You're going to stop now.
Oh.
I'm going to review the citation.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I will follow up with you in just a minute, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I mean, he's got all the best excuses. And I'm not saying that they're all excuses, you know, but he's one of my favorite traffic. And and if y'all are asking who's the one talking, he's the one in the black box at the top. He's at the library. His camera was working at the start of the call. The librarian came on and vouched for him. So he got the go ahead to proceed without the camera. Yeah. I mean, he's done, but I mean, the guy's got a point, I feel like. And I did not time this to see how long it takes for him to go over it. But I watch a lot of traffic court, and sometimes the magistrates, they really just don't care. They're like, oh, yeah, okay, all right, good excuse, case dismissed. But, okay, let me see if I can do the fast forward thingy. I think it's working.
Excuse me, sir?
Okay, here it gets impatient.
So, sir, this
Oh.
took place near the bowling stadium, correct?
Excuse me, sir?
This took place near the bowling stadium, correct? Down by the El Dorado Casino, the Reno Event Center, that area.
You know, sir, I'm not aware. I don't go to casinos much. I was there to meet a friend, and we went to his favorite restaurant. So I'm not sure where the casinos were, sir.
Okay.
I think that bowling center was maybe 2 or 3 blocks away, I believe, because it's all the way on the left-hand side from my recollection, near Harris, I believe. And I was probably 3 or 4 blocks. I don't know if it's east or west there. It was on the main. I don't know.
I'm oriented based on the location and the ticket, and based on your description of the neighborhood. I know where this incident took place.
But Your Honor, I was wondering, are blacked out windows allowed in Nevada or California? Because the windows were blacked out on the side and possibly even the front. Is that allowed?
Sir, we're dealing with your conduct here. I'm not worried about the other vehicles that were on the
Well,
road.
okay. Well, because like I said, I didn't see
Sir,
them
stop.
responding. Okay, I'm sorry.
The citation relays that your vehicle 1, was traveling northbound on University Street, and at the East 4th Street intersection, you cut off another vehicle in the left turn lane, and importantly to me, nearly
Waiting
hit
at a stop sign,
pedestrian.
sir.
Sir, stop.
We weren't traveling. We were waiting at a stop sign, sir. You know, we weren't moving.
Miss Massey, please mute Mr. Streischak. Thank you. Sir, when you talk over me, we can't get a record back. I've heard your story. You were behind a vehicle, and then you went around the vehicle. That's traveling. That is moving. This started because you decided to go around a vehicle in front of them and make a left-hand turn. The ticket says that you went around a vehicle, cut off a vehicle in the left turn lane, and nearly hit multiple pedestrians. They initiated a traffic stop and cited you for the charges. Now, I understand your statement that the vehicle in front of you wasn't going when you expected them to go. You asked me what other options you had. Sir, you could have turned right. You could have gone the other way on 4th Street and looped around a couple of blocks. You chose not to. You chose to cut off a vehicle, and that's what happened. Now, because the vehicle wasn't moving, and I believe your statement that you were honking and trying to get their attention and you thought they were frozen up, I'm inclined to reduce your fine, $295. But that's it, sir. You had other options available to you. You could have continued traveling northbound. You could have turned right and started pulling around. You chose not to. You chose to go around a vehicle.
Gas money.
The officer who stopped you thought it was a dangerous move, thought you did have other options, and that's why they cited you. So I'm going to reduce your fine from $415 down to $195, and that's going to be the outcome of this case, sir. We can proceed to the next matter, please.
Right, Joseph? Right?
Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Sir.
My apologies. Mr. Streischak, your case is taken care of. I'm going to be placing you into the breakout room. I'm not sure if you're gonna know how to do this, but go ahead and give it a try. You will be going
Mhm.
into the compliance room to set up with our compliance officer. So I'm assigning you to compliance room 1. Please join.
I'm not sure.
Oh, he was not
Okay,
done.
sorry, Your Honor. The next
that's fine.
case,
All
Is he
right,
back?
next
Is he
matter.
still-
the next matter
He's
is
still
going
there.
to be Marco Bayer.
I'm
And
sorry,
that-
Marco, what's the last name?
It's Marco Bayer.
That's the one that I wanted to show you. But it seems like you guys really want to see Shaggy. I didn't see it. All I know is that it was playing while I was getting ready. I mean, I thought they were all pretty interesting. But let's see. Shaggy makes it all the way to the end. I mean, but okay, so I have some after this one I have uh a lawyer defending another lawyer on a DUI and a drug charge, and it's awkward. They're doing like the allocutions and stuff. It's super awkward. Okay, where are we? Screen is so small for me. But I'm trying to show you. You guys want to see Shaggy, or do you want me to move on to the next thing? I feel like you want to see Shaggy. Like, there's no way.
Statutory amount of $793. Have you been able to get subsequent insurance?
I haven't.
Yeah, I remember that guy because he had
Room,
smoke
and we'll
detector
get you
going
on
off.
your way, and I wish you the best of luck out there, sir.
Here
Okay,
we go.
thank you.
This has got to
Thank
be
you.
Shaggy, and this is sight unseen. Got no idea.
Your Honor, give me just a moment. I believe that our compliance officer is having some freezing issues. Let me
course
see
they
if she has been able to, until I know that I'm watching the people in the compliance waiting room. So what I'm gonna do, Mr. Gloria, I'm gonna ask, there is a,
Yes, I can.
okay,
All right. And then there was one.
And that leaves us Mr. Harkins. Thank you for your patience today, sir. Go ahead and unmute.
Hello.
Sir, we are here in 23 TR 07854. Your name is Frederick Christ Kaisian Harkins. Is that correct?
Keishawn, but yeah.
Kishan, I apologize for mispronouncing your name, sir. The reason I'm asking you for your full name is because your Zoom is using what I suppose is a short form of your name, which I understand. I go by Steve about half the time. So I'm just making sure I'm talking to the right guy.
Yes.
There is one allegation against you that back on the 1st of July, you were driving with a suspended driver's license. You're aware of the charge against you, correct?
I'm aware.
And at the beginning of these proceedings, a video played explaining your rights, your options, and the potential consequences facing you in these proceedings. Did you watch that video, sir?
Yes.
Do you feel you understood the video?
Yes.
And do you know how you want to proceed today, sir?
Yeah, basically I'm trying to get my license back. I have basically I had 2 failure to appears. I paid the
Don't
one
do
in
it.
Fallon, and I went to DMV and they warned me about the one in Sparks. So I need to pay that one, but I also have a date on November 17th to take my driving test and my written test to get my license back. I've had my car registered and I've had insurance on it. I got it registered after that, but I had insurance on it the whole time because I had a SR22 on it.
Okay.
So I've had insurance the whole time.
Yes, and
But,
you don't have an insurance charge here. We're just here on the suspended driver's license issue.
Okay.
So and you already have the test set up for the 17th, correct?
Yes, I have the appointment and everything.
So far, he seems like one of the
Here's
most
what I'm
reasonable
gonna do.
ones.
I'm inclined to continue your sentencing date out. The reason I'm inclined to do that, and it's going to make you have one extra step. You're going to have to come in and actually see a judge. You can't just go to the clerk at the
Sorry,
counter.
JJ.
The reason I want to do that is because I'm going to give you 60 days. And if you don't pass your test on the first shot, it's going to take you a little more time to get it rescheduled. And so if I do it this way, then if you're unsuccessful on your test for whatever reason, you
What
can
is he
explain that to
saying?
the city attorney, explain that to the judge, and maybe get another extension to give yourself another chance to get your license
What's he trying
reinstated.
to say?
And I think that's going to give you a better shot at a successful, as successful an outcome as we can get in this proceeding. So that is my inclination, is to continue your sentencing for 60 days. Can I get a date for that, please?
Yes, Judge, November 29th at 8 a.m.
And you're going to have to come down and actually see the judge at that time. You understand that, Mr. Harkins?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And then best of luck to you on your test. Hopefully we get you back on the right side of things and get this one put behind us.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Best of luck to you out there. And have
Okay.
we resolved the breakout room situation?
The situation.
She's got one that more that has left.
There's a situation in
Harkins,
the
I'm gonna
breakout
leave it up
room. I wish we could have had the behind the scenes look on Victor's breakout room, because I mean, there's definitely a situation that was like ongoing throughout. I don't know if he's in person, then Michelle Massey, the person, she can't mute him, and like I don't know why other judges don't have that, where they just have somebody that like mutes people for them when they get out of line. I mean, bad for me, because I love when they talk when they shouldn't, but yeah, the situation room. I really did want to see that situation. Anyway, so somebody was asking me, they have to pass a test, and I'm not an expert, but when you get your license suspended and you lose your license after a certain point of time, you have to like start all the way over. So you have to like do it like you did when you were 16 and pass like written tests and things like that in order to qualify to get your license. Okay. So the next one we have, and I don't know what's wrong, why that one was freezing. But let's do this one in where where things just get awkward. And this is an interesting one. This is one of the ones that I think is interesting. I don't know if anybody else will.
All right, today is the date and time that has been set for sentencing for Mr. Jernigan.
Oh, sorry. Wrong button. Mortimer Duke. Y'all get out of the gutter. Or don't, stay in the gutter. The gutter's fun. Here we go. Let's see if I can do the right button.
Did you have an opportunity to review the probation department's reports?
Okay,
All right,
so
today is the date and time that has been set for sentencing for Mr. Jernigan. Did you have an opportunity to review the probation department's reports and recommendations?
I did.
Okay. Any additions, corrections, or deletions that you're seeking to make to the body of the report?
Just with regards to some things he said, and he's going to touch upon that as an allocution.
Okay.
Okay, so here's just a little background that I got from watching it a little bit. This guy who's the tall one, he's a lawyer. Okay. This guy who's the short one, also a lawyer. The guy who's the tall one is the defendant. And God, I wish I had more of this case. So you got to kind of pay attention.
So I just want to be clear, because if there's something he wants to be corrected or changed that was reported from the interview, that has to go back to the probation officer. If he just wants to comment on some of the things that were reported, that's something different.
I don't want enough to make that decision. Is it public?
I don't believe that they released the PSI to the public.
No.
So no.
This would not go
Can I
any.
kind of speak freely about it?
I would imagine.
So my concerns are not with, it's things, if I wasn't a lawyer, I wouldn't be quibbling about, but it's just like things that kind of are completely out of context that I would worry, that lack part of the explanation. For example, stating that my financial situation is a nightmare in direct quotes.
Okay,
It's just-
sir. Okay, I missed the very beginning of this. Okay, he's a lawyer. They're going over the pre-sentencing report. He's like, I want these things to be secret. I don't want people to find out that this says my financial situation is a nightmare. I mean, don't worry. I'm gonna take the stream down. Like probably like I'll give it an hour after it's over, and then I'll take it down. But like, okay, I'll stop talking. Here we go.
Relative to somebody with an 830 credit score and, you know, a good career. And I explained the nature of contingency cases and how, you know, even though I started my own law firm and, you know, took a big risk doing that, and year to
I know,
date,
Mortimer.
I've made pretty much nothing. And this has just been a huge financial burden on me. I also said that while I was sitting there in late August or mid-August with her, that 2023 could still be a year, and I mean this is the truth still to now, where my annual income is many, many, many multiples of any other prior year. So it's kind of the stuff like that, and to say that I reported emotional problems, like I didn't say that. I mean, if it was extrapolated as a lawyer, I would like it clear that that's how it arrived at. But as far as, you know, the police report just being copy and pasted, a lot of it contradicts sworn testimony. And I think it is, you know, one of the things that I've always had a problem with in this case, and I accept, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I'm guilty of the crime, but one of the things I always had a huge problem with was this reference to an open container, which was in the.
Is it like a doctors make the worst patients, like lawyers make the worst clients? Okay, I get like second time through hearing this, I get where he's coming from. Oh, thanks, Squish. I do need a hug. Like, so he's saying if things are in the pre-sentencing report and they're taken totally out of context, like his financial situation is a nightmare. And he's saying like out of context that could make clients nervous because he's obviously not a trial lawyer because he's talking way too much. But you know, he's taking cases on contingency. I guess that's like a personal injury or one of those civil kind of lawyers. So it's like he kind of, so maybe he's pre-upping it because he wants it out there. He wants it on the record so that it doesn't get taken out of context. But I don't think it would have ever been taken anywhere had he not said anything. But I don't know. But his lawyer's sitting there like, dude, there's nothing I can do. You're just going to talk.
Report stated as the reason why I was asked to step out of the vehicle. And it was, the video showed that it was not found, that wasn't the reason, and it was never even mentioned in testimony as any, it was never mentioned. So it's things like that. And I didn't have an open container. I did not.
Okay.
So
I understand what you're saying. I think to the extent that you're providing some explanation about the things that were taken from the interview and reported, the financial component, the explanation sort of supports the information that was provided and gives it some context, but I don't know that we would necessarily be in a position to go back and remove those responses. I understand your concern. The court doesn't intend to use this for any other purpose than to determine what may be appropriate for sentencing.
okay, and like a bigger issue, the biggest issue, I guess, of all was that my doctor was asked to provide a letter.
Yes, that cannot go. That
And
goes
he
in.
provided it password protected, and then it gets printed out and scanned in and copied with the report. And my doctor was like, I had my appointment today, which was noted in his letter. And he's like furious and said that was.
Well, hold on.
But if it's not public, then I have no issue.
No, there is a confidential file that is contained within the court file that the court is required to keep any information of this nature that is protected by HIPAA in this file, and it would never be disclosed to the public.
I haven't, that alleviates all my concerns.
Okay, so
I
yes.
just assumed it was.
So now if you state things on the record, however, about your own medication or your own treatment, the record is public. So anything you put on the record yourself is public because this is a public hearing and there could potentially be a transcript and it's recorded.
Absolutely.
So that's at your own risk. I'm never going to state the medications that you're taking or any specifics about the treatment.
But
In any sense, if I were to make
Hey,
part
night,
of a
Peaches.
probation recommendation that you continue with treatment, that's
Yeah.
the extent of what would be placed on the record. Okay,
Thank you.
With that, Your Honor, just allocution.
Except for all the stuff he just, I don't know. I don't get it. And when I first saw this, the first thing I thought was legal stimulants. That this guy is, I don't know what who am I? But I just, okay, shut up. People.
He is probably one of the most hardworking attorneys I've ever met in my career. This is a gentleman who will work for his clients till 2, 3, and 4 in the morning, 5 days a week or more. I've never seen an attorney with such a high work ethic as what he has. And I really compliment on that because he truly cares for the clients he represents. He does have strong family support. I think you've seen his dad. Can the dad come forward? He can't hear very
Yeah, okay. I was muted. Have you guys been seeing the dad in the background though? Like holding his ears to try to listen. I was gonna say something
well.
a few
he
minutes
can
ago.
come forward. Yes, yes.
But
Mhm.
That's fine.
yeah, dad's so cute. Okay. I was gonna say something. Yeah, I don't know. When I saw him and the way he was talking, the way he's talking to the judge, he's talking like really fast. My first thought was like, okay, legal stimulants. I feel like there's definitely some legal stimulants on board here. I feel like he had that cadence, and I feel like I really nailed it actually.
I'm
Okay,
going like this.
That's fine.
Thank you.
I'll try to talk louder.
Thank you.
But again, this is a gentleman who works very hard. He took ownership of the issue. We tried to challenge some of the evidentiary issues and were not successful, but at the end, he did was right and he pled to the reduced charge. I think he'll be a good candidate for probation. I think for anybody who is in the situation, it's nerve-wracking and it's upsetting that he finds himself here. But again, I think he'll be a good candidate for probation. I'm asking the court not to do the urinary drug screens as drugs were not an issue and allow him to continue in the treatment program he's already in and not do the substance abuse and or treatment orientation. Thank you.
All right, anything from the people?
There, thank you.
And sir, was there anything in addition to what you placed on the record that you wanted to place on the record?
There's just a few brief things that I want
A few
to
brief.
discuss with you.
Okay,
Or there's some things I just want to show you, just that I think demonstrate if I can approach.
Let me take. So,
Can I just hand them to you? Or
well,
if not, I don't know.
that's fine.
He's got to be the hardest client. Like he's not. Did you see his lawyer try to like? He tried to like take it from his lawyer.
I don't know. I just want to show you.
Okay,
On the record that you want
watch
to place
this.
on the record.
There's just a
Watch how
few brief
uncomfortable.
things that I want to discuss with you.
Okay,
Or there's some things I just want to show you, just that I think demonstrate if I can approach.
let me take. So,
Can I just hand them to you? Or
well,
if not, I don't know.
that's fine.
Oh my god.
All right, thank you.
I just wanted, I mean,
But I do want to make sure if you're providing something to me, it's something that the prosecutor would have to see.
that's absolutely fine.
Okay, so do you want to have an opportunity to review these? These look like,
I just wanted you to glance at them and I was gonna explain them. but-
sure, so these just look like awards or recognition that you received as an attorney or as in your role as a citizen here from the police department. So these
Oh,
are,
Troy.
right, yes, I can see that. Okay, did you want to take a look at these specifically, Ms. McMillan?
No, that's okay, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
And, you know, the year that I was on that pro bono honor roll for the state bar, you know, it was the year that I made partner at a good, you know, a big respected firm downtown Detroit that's been around a long time and unanimously elected partner. I was the highest billing attorney in the firm and the only attorney that was on the pro bono honor roll, because I put so much time into helping people save their homes in Detroit that were getting foreclosed on. And because I liked being a lawyer. The best part about it is not the potential, financial windfalls or anything like that. Like, I'm a bad biller. I forget to bill my clients because I like helping them. And I like to make a meaningful impact, whether it's, an important issue to a wealthy person or an important issue even more so to somebody that's not wealthy. And this process myself, I never knew anything about criminal law. And I would love to now be able to, represent indigent people so that they get, a fair representation from an attorney who really cares about them and wants to work hard for them.
And I really, you're right. I feel for this guy, and I can like hear the eagerness and sincerity in his voice. It is kind of sad, but I feel like if he was a housing lawyer in Detroit, we've got to know him, right? Got to know him.
And that's something going forward that I think will help. One thing I wanted to say is I like Josh said, we can disagree on like evidentiary issues, but at the end of the day,
what did he do? They didn't really go into the specifics about it. They're just going over the pre-sentencing report, but I believe it was a DUI. I think they're gonna say a little bit more later, but it's like they're not saying a lot of stuff, I think intentionally, as like maybe a professional courtesy. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer.
like I want to thank you in this court because I felt through this whole process like my voice was allowed to be heard in this courtroom, that I was given a very long leash and an opportunity to participate in my own defense, even if that meant at times I'm bouncing around in here like a pinball, having my dad come up and tapping Josh on the shoulder. And you allowed that, and a lot of judges wouldn't. And I want to thank you for that, because both as a human and a lawyer, it meant a lot to me. It really means a lot, because it's not a good situation that I put myself into. And you don't owe me that to the extent that you allowed it. And I genuinely am appreciative, because I never left this courtroom, even when I lost, thinking that I was being treated like or ignored or anything like that. You know what I mean? So thank you.
I feel like he's experiencing some kind of like dopamine rush or something right now, and he's just like all the love and appreciation, and he's just. This is the pre-sentencing report. She hasn't decided a sentence yet. We don't know if there'll be jail. We don't know.
I'm extremely remorseful. Just the process having gone through this, I cry like I haven't cried since my friend died a few years ago in my life. And I think it's something that I now realize that, society as a whole has, and unfortunately lawyers, as we all know, has kind of a cavalier approach to drinking and driving. And, a lot of attorneys that I've talked to throughout this process, their advice to me is like, well, this is what you have to do to keep your name out of the bar journal and that kind of thing. And what I want to do is, then what I am doing is I'm showing lawyers that I run into my tether and telling them, like, not because I'm proud of it, because I don't want it to happen to them. And I now know how this can happen to you and how horrible it is to go through this process of your own doing, especially as a lawyer. And, one thing I've thought of is when this is all done and over with, that's not my concern about keeping my name out of the bar journal. I want this to be turn a negative into a positive. And I would, obviously not while I'm under the court supervision, but at some point I would love to, if it interested you, you could reach out as a colleague at that point, and we could write an article for the Michigan Bar Journal about, not about my case or anything like that, but about how difficult, a cautionary tale that will hope.
Who are y'all paying attention? Am I the only one paying attention? Listen to what he's asked. I know I feel bad for him too, and I'm gonna delete the stream. Like, I'm gonna take it down. I always do. I just won't forget tonight. But like, I don't understand. Like, he seems so genuine, but like, can he not read a room? Am I not reading the room? It's so awkward, right? Yeah. And this was taken down immediately. Like, before the hearing was even over, it was like private video. So I barely got it. Like, I was lucky.
All done and over with, that's not my concern about keeping my name out of the bar journal. I want this to be turn a negative into a positive.
Like, listen to this
And
here.
I would, obviously not while I'm under the court supervision, but at some point I would love to, if it interested you, you could reach out as a colleague at that point, and we could write an article for the Michigan Bar Journal about, not about my case or anything like that, but about how difficult, a cautionary tale that will hopefully stop other lawyers, because lawyers actually read the Bar Journal, that will stop them from doing what I did and stop more lawyers from being in front of you, which I'm sure is sad for you too, because you know how hard we work to get to this position. And then to see somebody put themselves into, the spot that I'm in right now is just nobody enjoys it. It's sad and it's
think you're a
awful, and
boomer.
it's entirely my fault.
Maybe.
I'm sorry. I really am deeply sorry, and I mean that. I want to help other lawyers not have to go through this. And I will do that. And I have done that, and it's just a small thing I found that has helped me through this process myself. And I can't tell you how many other attorneys have told me now, very good attorneys and well-respected in the community, that they won't even have a drink at dinner anymore. And so many of my friends, they don't do it anymore. And that's the message I've been providing for the last 11 or 10 months to everybody, is just don't do it. It's not worth it. And, it's dangerous, right?
Oh my God, he's gonna lose it.
So
Deep breath.
I'm really, really sorry. I really am. So thank you. And
I appreciate all of that. Obviously, I know that you have actively participated in the case before the court for a number of reasons. Obviously, you have a legal background, but this is something that I think is going to have a profound impact on you for a number of reasons. And while it does not appear to be positive at this point in time, I can already see in the time that I've been supervising you on bond, and we've addressed some things that have occurred on bond and taken a look at why they are happening, and your relationship with alcohol, and what you need to do to make sure not only that you're not going to drink and drive again, which I am very hopeful is the case just by having to go through this process, but also that you are addressing your own needs to make sure that you are healthy and able to contribute to society in the ways that you want to. I know you're very proud of your work ethic, but at the end of the day, I think that this experience should hopefully give you some pause about the need to find some balance here and to put yourself before your work. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, you're turning to things like alcohol to cope, and you are making decisions that are not good for you and in turn, they're not good for anybody around you. So I'm hopeful that this process will also allow you to do that. I've reviewed this report. It of course provides additional information that I did not know about you, but it also supports many of the things that I already did know about you. I think the recommendations that are made by the probation department are reasonable. I think at this point, it is an appropriate time to focus on treatment, making sure any mental health needs that you have are being addressed, and that we are giving you the guidance to do that, to give you some education, which I think will be helpful for you to further understand the impact drinking and driving has on society, and then obviously the impact that it has on you as an individual when you're consuming alcohol, and then making these decisions, such as the one that you made in this particular case that was dangerous to yourself and the community. But I do think that these are appropriate reasons to place you on probation. I would like to see what you can accomplish during the next 12 months for a term of reporting probation, but I want you to keep in mind that you are going to be eligible for early discharge at the halfway point. So as soon as 6 months from now, if you are able to demonstrate to me that you've met the goals I've set out for you on probation as far as rehabilitation and treatment, no violations for at least 90 days, you'll have the ability to make the request for early discharge, and the probation officer that's overseeing you has to give you the paperwork and tell you when you're eligible so you don't miss the opportunity. I'm not looking at additional jail time for you today. You do have 2 days of jail time, but credit for the time that you've already served. And hopefully we can keep that as the minimum amount of jail that you'll end up spending. You will end up being incarcerated for this matter, so that we can focus on the other needs. I'm going to ask that you continue with current treatment that you have in place for mental health and follow any and all recommendations that are made by your provider. You will document that you're continuing to do that. I don't think it's necessary to require an orientation at this point because you already are engaged. I am going to require that you participate in a substance use education weekend program. I'll give you some time to enroll. So you'll have until 12/1 of 2023 to enroll in the class. You will also refrain from the use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, illegal drugs, or drugs without a prescription, and you will continue as you have, documenting any prescriptions that you are receiving. On the chance that we send you for a drug screen, I need to make sure that it comports with the prescriptions. For now, I think the tether has made things go much smoother in this case. And so I'm going to keep it in place. I know it's a restrictive type of testing, but I'd like to see it in place for another 60 days. And then we can revisit it at that point if it seems like another option is appropriate. For the drug testing, I think you have a very clear understanding of what the expectation is for the use of illegal drugs or drugs with a prescription. I'm going to leave that at testing at the request of the PO. So if there's a concern about the use of illegal drugs or drugs not prescribed, the PO can and will potentially send you for a test, but it won't require you to call in every day and test in addition to the testing that you're currently doing. As you know, anytime you have to go in for those type of tests, you can't consume liquids for 4 hours before. I don't want you to drive your vehicle without valid driver's license and insurance. You've already been fingerprinted, so I don't know that that's something that I need to order. You would have to, of course, report this conviction as required to the state, and you provide any verification that that has been completed to the PO. And I don't doubt that that is something you've done.
Both states.
All right, we'll just make sure that that is verified that you've done that. Document your employment at this point. I know you're working for yourself, so they'll ask you for certain things that may help to document that. You've got some standard conditions of probation that you will have to comply with. And I believe that you have been forthcoming about legal circumstances and other issues with any treatment provider. I would just ask that that's documented so that we know if we need to get additional information that you've been discussing any issues that are coming up with this case with any treatment provider. You do have the financial penalty that comes along with this case, which is not insignificant, but it is a $300 fine. Your court costs will be reduced from the recommended cost to $300. You must pay the state mandated assessment of $125. The assessment that you took in probation for the drunk driving offense, you must repay for that. That is $110. Cost recovery back to the city of Troy for their participation in your arrest is set at $275. And for each month that you're supervised, you pay $40 a month. You pay that part as you go in case you're done with probation earlier than anticipated. You do have 30 days to pay your fines and costs in full. If at this point you need time beyond that and would like to be considered for a payment plan, you'll make that request of probation and they'll set you up with someone to talk about whether or not you'd be eligible.
I got my ATM machine with me.
Okay, do you have any questions about the sentence of the court?
I don't, I thank you for, I do feel that you considered my case individually, and I thank you for that. The tether, I think, hasn't proven anything yet, because it hasn't even 30 days, but I think it's a great thing, because I was having, all those problems I was having were related to the other things, so.
Yes, I think that this,
God, I want to know more. Okay, so that's when they she's like, okay, I'm just gonna end it now because this guy's not gonna shut up. But I wish him luck too. But like all those little innuendos and all that stuff that they were hinting to makes me really want to find out what's going on though. Because there was so much they didn't say, and it just seems like it would be super interesting. But thank you guys for coming. That's what I have for tonight. Sorry that first one didn't work. Is he? See, that's what I want to know. I want to know. I want the context to what he was saying, because I think what he's saying was awkward. I think it was interesting. It was really uncomfortable how his lawyer really wanted him to stop talking and he didn't. He wouldn't. So I don't know. I might look into what was going on there. But thank you guys for coming. Those of you that came and stayed and watched, I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. And until next time, make sure you behave, you follow the law, or you don't get caught, bail your friends out. You know what to do. Good night.